product this density into cross sectional area multiplied with velocity, they will give you the mass flow rate. You can check in SI system, rho is in SI, it is kg per meter cube. Cross sectional area will give you in meter square, and velocity will be expressed in meter per second. So if you just calculate, simplify this units, so it will give you kg per second, that is nothing but mass flow rate. So mass flow rate, it will be remain constant, that is the continuity equation, nothing else is there. Continuity equation gives us the feeling that conservation of mass is valid there. So that is a continuity equation for one dimensional form. That means fluid flow is occurring in one dimension. We are ignoring y and z direction. Actually it never occurs. Always a velocity must have three components. But for the simplicity, many times we consider the fluid is occurring a one dimensional flow. So that is a continuity equation for 1D flow. Now you can see rho is existing there, so I can express that equation like rho 1 A1 V1 equals to rho 2 A2 and V2. That way I can express if I take two cross section at one section and two cross section. So in between two cross section I can apply this continuity equation in this variation also. Now this equation is valid for obviously 1D flow, and if the fluid is compressible, why I am saying so? Because if the fluid is compressible fluid, because this density is existing there, and for compressible fluid the density will vary actually. Compressible fluid means most of the gases we consider they are compressible in nature, and in terms of liquid and solid we consider they are very less amount of compressibility is there. Solid is tends to zero compressibility, and liquid is compressible but very little in amount, but gaseous substances are very much compressible. So if we assume this equation it is valid for a compressible fluid, then density will exist there. Now if we convert this equation for incompressible fluid like water, then that rho will be cancelled from both the sides and equation will be converted A1 V1 equals to A2 V2. This equation is also a 1D form of continuity equation. It is also a 1D form of continuity equation, but it is for incompressible flow, or sorry, incompressible fluid. This equation is valid for incompressible fluid. So that is a small portion of continuity equation I have actually left in the last class, because that point of time I focused on the three-dimensional form of Cartesian coordinate system, how we can express the continuity equation. But this thing also should be remembered properly. If anybody asks you what is the continuity equation in 1D form, then this is the continuity equation in 1D form. This form is valid for compressible fluid, and this form is valid for incompressible fluid. Is there any problem for anyone? Tell me. Thank you. And in the assignment basically I have given a problem regarding to the solving of a numerical with the help of continuity equation. That kind of numericals very frequently comes. So I can take a class regarding some solving of numerical problems. Basically I haven't solved that problem for you, but still given in the assignment part. There is no such alternative for me. I have to give some question to give you some marks. So if you have understood the problem, because I have seen that all of you have done the problem, I don't think that have you understand the problem, procedure of solving the problem, or just copied from any web source or from any book. I think second option will be there. Just you have copied the thing without understanding the thing, is it? Or if you say that you have understood, which one is no? Have you understand the thing? So if you understood the thing, how that problem can be solved, then I will skip that part, because in your exam part some objective question will be there with 2 marks carrying. So that question will carry some small numericals, and small numericals comes like this way. So you have the knowledge that how to solve these small numericals, it should be a very crucial part for the exam part. From exam point of view, yes, the procedure is very same. Procedure is very same. Key, and it may appear that that is the problem is related to the three-dimensional flow. Continuity equation application for 1D flow, it also can be given. Those kind of problem are very easy. Like a fluid is flowing through a pipe, considering a liquid water. Now the pipe is getting branched, like one pipe is getting branched two ways. Now you have to find the velocity of the branch portion, like this way. So if you tell me, then I will take a class regarding some numerical solving. And if you go through some any kind of textbook, there are lots of small kind of problem is given related to the continuity equation as well as related to momentum equation, Bernoulli's equation. Okay, you can, if you want, then I can take a class for only numericals. Okay, now start with the momentum equation. Today's objective is to first let me know, is there any class after me? Thank you, honored. Because the problem is that I have to complete two things today. Okay, that is momentum equation, and the second one is Euler's equation. From Euler's equation I have to get the Bernoulli's equation. So that is the objective for today for me. So if you cooperate with me, and then it will be easy for me. আর যদি ভালো না লাগে, then obviously you are free to leave. আর যদি সবার ভালো না লাগে তাহলে আমাকে বলবে, I will release you. এরকম কোনো প্রেশারাইজড কন্ডিশনে ক্লাস নেওয়ার কোনো মানে হয় না, নিতেই হবে, করতেই হবে, নট রিয়েলি। সো ইফ ইউ লাইক ইট আই উইল কন্টিনিউ, ইফ ইউ ডোন্ট লাইক ইট প্লিজ তাহলে সেটা বলে দেবে। শুধু শুধু জোর করে কিছু হয় না, এখানে কোনো হার্শ ফিলিং নেই, একদম সত্যি কথা বলছি, ইনার ওয়ার্ডস, নো হার্শ ফিলিং ইজ দেয়ার। তাতে এমন কিছু আমি বলবো না বা করবো না যে কারোর কিছু ক্ষতি হয়ে যাবে। চলো, লেটস স্টার্ট দ্য মোমেন্টাম ইকুয়েশন। Momentum equation, you have heard this term momentum before in class 9 or 10 and 11 and 12. Momentum is nothing but a product of mass and velocity. Now how that momentum equation is related to the fluid mechanics, that we have to see today. Okay, so you all know that moving fluids, any kind of moving fluid always exerts some forces. We all know that. While a fluid is moving, suppose water is flowing through a pipeline, that point of time, after getting out of the pipeline, if that water is going to hit any surface, obviously the surface will feel some force. You can feel that force on your palm also. If you place your palm just after opening the tap water, you can feel that particular force. So every moving fluid always exerting some forces. It is not liquid, gases also. That's why I am telling you moving fluids. Okay, and the example will be a very easy thing to understand the thing, where you can see that kind of force is acting for our benefit. That is, one force is there, very important force is that is lift force, and that lift force is used for an aircraft to lift up in the sky. So that is a very good example, that fluid always exerts force. That is a very good example. In case of aerodynamics, the fluid that is acting here is a crucial thing. It will help you that lift the aeroplane in the air. That is the working fluid, that is nothing but air. So air is a gaseous fluid. That fluid is helping you to lift the aeroplane in the air. That is a very good example that fluid always exert forces. As well as it is an example, as well as you can think of like rotating hydraulic turbine. Hydraulic turbine কে গ্যাস বলো, এয়ারক্রাফটে কি বলো? ফ্লুইডই এখানে লিফট ফোর্সটা তৈরি করে বাবা। লিফট বা ড্র্যাগ নিয়ে একটা ক্লাস হবে, দেন আই উইল ডিসকাস দ্যাট লিফট ফোর্স or drag force. Two forces actually encountered there in a case of aeroplane. Drag force actually dragging the thing and lift force will lift up the thing. So that kind of thing will execute there. One force is expressed by Fr and one force is known as Fl. That Fl is a lifting force which will acting upward, and Fr is a dragging force which will acting in the reverse direction of the motion of aeroplane. And with respect to these two forces, this is the resultant force. I should express it by Fd, that is the drag force, that is the lift force, and resultant force will be Fr. So that resultant, according to the direction of resultant force, the aeroplane will lift up. This is the net force. Okay, so how it works actually, that I will discuss in that particular topic when I discuss lift force, drag force, laminar boundary layer separation, all those things. Okay, but obviously from now you should know one thing, that the lift force or as well as the drag force will be created by the working fluid, and the working fluid what we are talking about here, that is nothing but air. Air will create a thrust, okay, due to the pressure difference actually it occurs. Okay, so rotating a hydraulic turbine or steam turbine. Hydraulic turbine means a turbine which is rotating with the help of water force, and steam turbine, the turbine is rotating with the help of steam force, that is the force generated by steam. Both the cases we can see that fluid exerts force, both the cases. Here a gaseous working fluid and it is a liquid working fluid, and both of them creating some forces or acting, exerting some forces on the turbine blade by which turbine is rotating. Okay, so these are the very common example where we can see that always fluid exerts some force, and that thing actually is based on the Newton's second law of motion. We all know that Newton's second law of motion is nothing but force equals to mass into acceleration. From our childhood knowledge we know all these things, so it can be written like this manner also. If you consider that final velocity as v and initial velocity as u, then you can express that expression by this way also. But the problem is that in fluid mechanics, that which mass you consider, basically in solid mechanics whatever the body mass, it may be a mass of a person, mass of a ball, that we have considered there. That point of time you can easily get the mass of that particular substance. But here a fluid is flowing through a pipeline, suppose. Now which mass you should consider over there? That is the problem over here. That's why this mass, which mass, I should write that thing, which mass, that is expressed by m, we should consider here. We should consider here. That is a problem. That is a problem for us. So that's why we have to ব্যাকগ্রাউন্ড থেকে আওয়াজ, এই তো আমার কিছু করবার নেই, একটু ফ্যানের আওয়াজ হয়তো আসতে পারে, ফ্যান, ইয়েস। সো দ্যাট problem of encountering due to the quantity of mass, then we have to convert this particular equation into some different manner, because this form it is a conservation of a momentum equation. You can see change in momentum, mv minus mu, that is nothing but the change in momentum with respect to time. That equation is valid for solid mechanics, but in fluid mechanics that is a problem for counting the mass. So that's why we have to convert this particular equation in some different form. So just to convert that equation in terms of fluid mechanics, we are considering a fluid flow like this way. Suppose a fluid is flowing like this manner, where here is the inlet and here is the outlet. Here at the inlet part the velocity cross sectional area and density. Cross sectional area A1, inlet velocity U1, and the density of the fluid which is coming in, that is ρ1. And we are considering first it is a compressible fluid, that means density can vary here also. Okay, any point of time you can consider that it is incompressible, that point of time rho will be cancelled. So first of all, for generalize the thing, I am considering that it is flowing a compressible fluid, so I am considering ρ1 and ρ2, that means density is not constant. If the density is not constant, then obviously it is a compressible fluid. So here the problem is already clear for us. Now what we are doing over here, we are considering, we assume a steady flow steady non-uniform flow in a streamline. What does this mean? Steady flow means with respect to time, fluid properties are not going to change, like pressure, density, velocity. These properties are not going to change with respect to time, that is steady flow. Uniform or non-uniform, it is relevant to the space. If it is a uniform flow, then we should say that velocity will not vary with respect to space. That means with respect to distance travel, the velocity will be remain constant if it is a uniform flow. And here we are considering non-uniform flow, that means velocity will vary from here to here. That's why I have mentioned U1 and U2. Okay, and streamline flow means all the fluid particles, they are flowing through this section. I am considering they are flowing like this manner. That means there is no such kind of intersection, or there is no such kind of collision between two consecutive layers. It's also known as laminar kind of flow. Okay, we will discuss this later also. So streamline flow means all the fluid layers, they are flowing parallel to each other, so they are not going to collide. It's a kind of very slow and very smooth flow. If there is collision between two layers, that kind of flow actually known as turbulent flow. Okay, so here this kind of fluid flow is occurring here, and also we are considering the fluid is compressible in nature. If the fluid is compressible in nature, then ρ1 and ρ2 will not be constant. So that kind of flow is occurring through this section. And I am also considering that from here to here, a fluid element from inlet to outlet, it is taking a del t time to travel. Del t means a very small amount of time taken to travel from, suppose this is section 1, this is section 2, from 1 to 2. Del t, why I am taking del t, that question can come. Basically del is representation of very small quantity. So del t is very small time interval I am taking, by which that fluid element particle moving from point section 1 to section 2. Now if we consider that what is the volume entering this particular tube, so I can write like this way: volume, in short form, volume entering the tube. That means here, that can be written like this way: area into distance. Always it can be written, volume can be written like this format. Area, if you multiply it with distance, that means just consider the unit. Area unit is meter square, distance unit is meter. So meter square and meter, they will give you meter cube, and that is the unit of volume. So always you can find the volume like this way, area into distance. Now the cross sectional area of the section 1 is A1, and the distance, that way I am writing this way, U1 into del T. This is the expression of distance. If you have any confusion, again use the unit, velocity unit in SI, meter per second, and del T will give you the time in second. So second will be cancelled, it will give you the meter, that is the unit of distance, nothing else. So distance can be always be written by velocity into distance travel. It will give you the distance, velocity in the time taken, velocity into time taken, so that will give you the distance. So if you get the value of volume entering this particular tube, then obviously from there you can also find mass entering the tube also. Very easy. How? That is a very common formula. If you multiply volume into density, that will give you the mass. Always have any confusion, then again use the unit. Volume unit is meter cube and density unit in SI kg per meter cube. So both will be cancelled, it will give you a mass. Every point of time, if you have any confusion regarding the quantity, just use the units of them, then it will get the feel that what is the outcome of that particular thing. Okay, so that way I am getting volume into density is always give you the mass. So that is the mass. If I consider entering the tube, then I should express that thing. Volume is nothing but A1 U1 del T, that is the volume already I have defined, and density, entering density I am taking rho 1. So that is the mass entering the tube. And if you, I am just using this space, and if you find out, try to find out the momentum, because we are trying to finding the momentum actually. So momentum of the same thing, that is the momentum of the fluid entering the tube. Momentum of the fluid entering the tube, I am just keeping that particular writing part because space is inadequate. It will give you mass into velocity, that is the inlet or incoming, I can say incoming, mass into velocity. So mass already I have find out rho 1 A1 U1 del T, and always velocity with the inlet part it will come. So that will the momentum at incoming part. Similarly for the exit part, you can find the same thing for the exit part of that particular tube, outgoing. I can write like this. Same kind of expression will be written like this, rho 2 A2 U2 del T into U2. That same expression will come for the outlet part, or rather say the outgoing part. If you have any problem up to this limit, then tell me. Then, thank you. Then after getting the value of momentum incoming and outgoing, then you can apply the second law of Newton, whatever I have written just before of this. That force equals to, I am removing this part, force equals to rate of change of momentum. Rate of change of momentum means mv minus mu by t. That is the Newton's second law, that force is nothing but rate of change of momentum. That is the Newton's second law. Now momentum already we got, so I can express this equation of Newton's law by this kind of expression. Always one thing should be remembered from now, that while you are asking for change of anything, it may be change of temperature, it may be change of velocity, it may be change of momentum here, always change should be considered by final minus initial. Mind it clearly from now on. So final momentum minus initial momentum we should consider. So rho 2 A2 U2 del T u2 minus here rho 1 a1 u1 del T into u1, and with respect to time, because rate of change already I have written, rate means with respect to time, so how much time is being taken, that is del T. That is the expression of rate of change of momentum. Always rate means with respect to time, what change is occurring there. Now already I am removing this part. Already just before of this particular lecture, while I am discussing the continuity equation for 1D flow, continuity equation for 1D flow, that point of time I have written, since continuity equation for 1D flow, that point of time I have expressed a1 v1 equals to a2 v2, isn't it? And if I consider it is a compressible one, then I can put rho 1 over there, rho 2 over there, if the fluid is compressible. Now you can see this a1 into v1, that is the thing, is cross sectional area multiplied with velocity. Acha, for this particular case I should replace it by u1 and this should be replaced by u2, because I have taken the velocity in terms of u, nothing else. So area into velocity, what does this give and what does it produce actually? Area into velocity, just check it out. Area unit is meter square and velocity unit is meter per second in SI system. So it is giving you meter cube per second, and that meter cube per second means what? That means volume flow rate, and this volume flow rate is expressed by discharge. This discharge term is should be remembered from now on. Onwards we have to remember that volume flow rate is expressed by discharge, and discharge is symbolized by capital Q. They will be used randomly, that's why I am telling you to remember these things. So here also I can convert this continuity equation like this manner also. Rho 1 into q1 equals to rho 2 into q2. Always I can write like this form, that continuity equation, because this area, cross sectional area into velocity will give you the volume flow rate, and volume flow rate is also known as discharge. So finally this expression can be substituted onto that part. So I am removing this part now. So there you can see, suppose if I convert that equation into for that rho is making that equation very larger. So if I assume that fluid is basically, most of the cases we consider, if I assume that the fluid is incompressible, most of the cases we have to incompressible fluid নিয়ে কাজ করতে হবে, compressible flow or compressible fluid নিয়ে কাজ করতে হবে if you select a elective subject which is known as advanced fluid mechanics. That point of time we have to discuss with compressible flow and compressible fluid, but in this particular subject we have to consider only incompressible fluids. That's why I am converting that equation into incompressible fluid. Okay, if I assume that fluid is incompressible, then rho 1 is equals to rho 2. So then that equation is converted. If we consider that rho 1 equals to rho 2, then that from this equation what I can write now, F equals to, just replace this A2 into U2, just replace that A2 into U2. Acha, consider that by rho, it will be easy. Okay, so I am writing that equation like this manner. Check it out, is it understandable or not? A2 U2 is replaced by Q2. A2 U2 is replaced by Q2, and you can see that del T from top numerator side and denominator side, it will be remain cancelled. So U2 will be remain there, minus rho is there, and A1 U1 is replaced by Q1, and one u1 is also there, so there is no denominator part left out. That is the expression. If I take a common as rho, then it will be look like, as well as here from here, if the density is taken out, if the fluid is incompressible, then I can take out this rho part from both the sides. So from there I can write q1 equals to q2. Discharge will be remain constant. I am taking that by q, expressing it by q. So q1 and q2, if I replace them by q, then the simplified version of the momentum equation will be this one: rho q within parenthesis u2 minus u1. Mind it, here I am considering the fluid is a incompressible one. If we do not consider it is incompressible, then this equation will be converted like rho 2 q2 u2 minus rho 1 q1 u1. This is valid. Okay, I have to lift it up, is it? Okay, fine. So this particular bottom equation, it is valid. It is also a momentum equation, but it is valid when the fluid is a compressible one, compressible like gas, and this equation is valid for incompressible. And mind it, in your subject we are dealing with incompressible fluid like water. So this equation is more important for you people for this particular subject. And always, this is the force, obviously it is a force actually. And if you are asked that in force is a vector, so if anybody asks you that in which direction that force will act, that force is acting by the fluid is creating the particular force. Now if anybody asks you the direction of force, in which direction that force will be acting, always you should answer like this: that force will be acting in the direction of flow of the fluid. Mind it, I am again repeating, this force, this is the expression of force. That force is basically applied by the fluid is creating that force, and in which direction that force is acting, the direction is the direction of flow of fluid. If the fluid is flowing in this direction, then this force will be applied in the same direction of the fluid flow. Up to this limit, if you have any confusion, then please proceed. Okay, then if we discuss with the application part, because application, without knowing the application, actually it is meaningless if you don't know the application. Lots of theory I have studied, but we don't know the application, then it's good for nothing. The application part is very simple. Already I have told, I have drawn a picture. That is a very important application. That is force due to fluid flow inside a pipe bend. It is a picture of pipe bend, and this kind of pipe bend you all have seen in your home also. That is plumbing pipelines for rainwater pipe, or it may be drinking water pipeline. There must be some lots of bends are there, and always number of bends actually reduces the head, so that they can be discussed later. And second application, already I have told you, that is the impact of jet. A jet is coming out from a pipeline or from a nozzle, and it is going to hit a plane surface like a wall. Then that surface will feel a thrust, a force. So I can say that impact of jet on a plane surface, and that topic will be discussed in case of fluid machine. In case of fluid machine, that topic will be discussed there, as well as force due to flow around a curved vein. flow around a carved vein. This is also a topic related to the fluid machine. This thing actually happens in case of turbine. Already I have told you. So that turbine part, that is a hydraulic turbine I am talking about. Steam turbine is not of this part of subject. Steam turbine is a different part. That is all very interesting part obviously. But here we are discussing the hydraulic turbine, which is run with the help of water force. So that point of time, the force created by the jet of a water. So it will be discussed in the fluid machinery part. So all these are application of a momentum equation. Is there any confusion up to this limit? Thank you. Then we are moving to the first part, that is the force due to fluid flow inside a pipe bend. Rest up to application can be discussed in fluid machine part. Okay, so I am removing this side. Now coming to that particular drawing or that particular figure, what I have drawn, it is a figure of a portion of a pipe bend. Okay, so it never I am saying that always pipe bend look like this. Any angle that pipe can be bent, because PVC pipes nowadays we are using, so PVC is very easy to bend by applying heat. Okay, I am taking as an example that pipe is bent like this manner. Okay, so here from this side the fluid is entering. Okay, and from here that fluid is going out. I am again considering it is a incompressible one. Water is flowing, you can consider, not regarding any gas. Okay, so fluid is flowing through here and going out from there. V1 is the incoming velocity inside the pipe and V2 is the outgoing velocity from the pipe. Okay, now considering two section, imaginary section at 1 and imaginary section at 2. Now see here that I have written by reading P1A1 in the direction of rightward, and I have written here P2A2 in the inward direction. So first let me allow that what is that particular P1A1. P1A1 is the pressure force. Pressure force, because P is the pressure, A is the area. Have you, if you have any confusion, always use the SI system unit. Pressure will give you a unit of Newton per meter square and area will give you a unit of meter square. So they will cancel each other and the outcome is Newton. That means if you multiply both of this quantity, it will give you a force, and it is coming due to the pressure. That's why it is known as pressure force, nothing else. Just try to realize the thing in easier manner. They are easy. Okay, most of the times it is not clearly expressed. That's why they creates confusion to our mind. So pressure force, obviously if the fluid is flowing in this direction, then the pressure force direction will be in this direction, because the fluid velocity is acting in this direction. We all know the fluid can flow if there is a pressure variation. From higher pressure to lower pressure, a fluid can flow. So while the fluid is flowing in rightward direction, then obviously the pressure is also directing onto that direction. Otherwise fluid cannot flow onto that direction. They are very easy concept. So that's why I have given an arrow in the rightward direction. It is representing the pressure force acting on the fluid. Pressure force acting pressure force is acting. One second, machine টা গন্ডগোল করছে। Okay, ठीक है। Pressure force acting on the fluid element. Similarly, P2A2 is the same thing, pressure force acting on the fluid element, but it is on the output side. You see that pressure, what pressure I am talking about in the outlet part, that is the pressure which is acting from the outside. From the outside, if it is atmosphere, then obviously all the time atmospheric pressure is acting in this direction, in the direction of this marker. We all know that while the fluid is going out from any pipe flow, that point of time, if it is discharged to the atmosphere, so all the time the atmospheric pressure is trying to push that particular fluid in the direction of coming fluid. So it is trying to push the fluid inside, because that we all know that every force or every action must have equal and opposite direction. So if fluid is directing a force in outward direction, then obviously a opposite direction force will be acting to the inward direction of the pipe. Are you getting me or not? The fluid, yes, thank you. So P2A2 is that force which is acting on the fluid element. Fluid is feeling that force. Okay. Similarly, P1A1 is the force which is felt by the fluid element. Okay, that is at inlet part, that is at the outlet part. Okay, now coming to this particular, you can see that theta is given there. Theta is given there means that pipe is bent at an angle of theta, obviously. Now, and in this location, I have directed two forces. One is Fx and one is Fy. Yes. No, not right. P1A1 is not generated by fluid. It is acting on fluid. It is the force which is acting on the fluid from some external means, like from this part P1A1. If you connected a pump over there, it may occur that a pump is connected over there. So the pump is an external device which is creating that pressure. That means the fluid particle feeling the pressure force P1A1, and here P2A2. That means fluid is feeling that pressure. Yes. I am not saying that it will always be atmospheric pressure. If it will depend. Any pressure can act. Obviously, while the fluid is going out from there, then the fluid will creating a force in this direction. It is a conceptual thing. This red arrow is a representation of fluid force. That means fluid is forcing. The fluid is acting, creating a force in the direction of this marker, because fluid is flowing in this direction. Already I have told you that every moving fluid creating a force. So fluid force will be in the direction of this marker, and every force always feel a equal and opposite direction of force. So that's why that P2A2 is the, you can consider it like a reaction force also. It will felt by the fluid element in the opposite direction. If this arrow is representing the fluid force, then that arrow will be felt by the fluid. It is not created by fluid, it is felt by the fluid. We are considering only the forces which are actually felt by the fluid element. ফ্লুইড যে ফোর্সগুলোকে ফিল করছে সেটাকে বলছি, ফ্লুইড যে ফোর্সগুলোকে ক্রিয়েট করছে সেটা বলছি না। আন্ডারস্টুড? Now coming to this part, fx and fy. What is fx and y? What is fy? Fx is a f stands for force and x stands for in the direction of x. So fx and fy both are component of the forces exerted by the flowing fluid on the bend. I am writing the thing. Force components exerted by the fluid element on the pipe bend. Obviously there will be a force which is created by the fluid on the pipe bed. Pipe ke dhakka marche fluid ta, sei fx or fy, those are the two force component in the direction of x and in the direction of y. That is the force exerted by the fluid on the pipe bend. That is the stressed part, that this is the direction of force of the fluid on the pipe bend. but I have already told you we are concentrating on those forces which are acting on the fluid, not acting by the fluid. We are concentrating the forces which are acting on the fluid. So if Fx is the force which is exerted by the fluid on the bend, then the reverse one, that means the force is created by the bend on the fluid, will be minus Fx and minus Fy. Make it clear first. If Fx and Fy, they are the force created by the fluid on the bend, then minus Fx and minus Fy will be force exerted by the bend on fluid, isn't it? কারণ ইকুয়াল অ্যান্ড অপোজিট হবে না, অলওয়েজ ইকুয়াল অ্যান্ড অপোজিট হবে, তো ইকুয়াল বলে এফএক্সই রেখেছি অ্যান্ড অপোজিট ডাইরেকশন, দ্যাটস ওয়াই মাইনাস is appearing there. Are you getting me or not? Tell me. Yes, Fx and Fy, keep it clear. Most of the books they haven't cleared that thing. That's why it is a confusing thing. Fx and Fy, they are the forces created by the fluid on the bend, pipe bend. But we are concentrating onto that part, that what are the forces felt by the fluid element. So this one is the force felt by the fluid element which is created by the bend, pipe bend. So now two forces are there, one is pressure force and one is this force created by the bend. Now coming to this part, this is the velocity of fluid which is going out of the pipe bend, that is the V2, and if the bent angle is theta, then V2 one component will be lying in the x direction and V2 one component will be lying in the y direction. Always if any vector, it is not only velocity, if any vector is acting inclined manner, then always one horizontal component and one vertical component must be there, otherwise this inclination cannot be achieved. And mind one thing always, that theta always should be considered in anti-clockwise direction, always, anywhere, everywhere, always you are considering theta, you should consider in CCW direction. It is very important, otherwise lots of confusion will be creating in the problem solving part. Okay, so here also that velocity is a vector, so a component in x direction and component in y direction will be created. Understood or not up to this limit? Fine. Similarly, P2A2 is a force, obviously pressure force. So if the P2A2 force is acting like this direction, P2A2 force is acting like this direction, just use this particular figure. So here also two component must be there and this angle is theta, isn't it? Just copy this particular figure over here. So in this direction P2A2 cos theta will be there, and in this direction P2A2 sin theta will be there. One thing should be clear over here, mind the direction better, otherwise it will create complete wrong assumption, complete wrong derivation. If the P2A2 direction is this side, along this direction, then obviously two component will be acting like this, one is in horizontal direction, one is in vertical direction. That is the reason why P2A2 acting in this direction, otherwise inclination cannot be achieved. If there is two component must be there, one is vertical, one is horizontal, then you can go in inclined direction, otherwise it is not possible. Now in this drawing I have expressed this angle by theta. If this angle is theta, then obviously that angle also will be theta. Just simple geometry, equal alternate angle. So if it is P2A2, then you can consider this is P2A2 cos theta, because always the component which is making the angle, it will be cos component and it will be sin component. If you have any confusion regarding this resolution, then go to the basic. It's a kind of right angle triangle. It is very easy, it is learned you people from class 11 standard. So that is the P2A2 cos theta, it is acting in leftward direction, and that is the P2A2 sin theta, that is acting in the downward direction. Mind the directions, one is in leftward, one is in right, vertically downward. Okay, now we are going to, in equilibrium condition we are considering, by considering the equilibrium condition we are applying the momentum equation in x direction as well as in y direction. So momentum equation in x direction I am applying over here. Okay, so net force, obviously net force we should consider here because multiple number of forces are there. If only one force is there, then there is no problem. If there is multiple number of forces acting, then you have to consider net force or resultant force, both are same. Net force acting on fluid element in x direction, and that is equal to rate of change of momentum in x direction. Okay, now what is the net force? P1, now coming to only x direction, that means this is the x direction, this is the y direction, universal x and y. Now in x direction obviously P1A1 is there, and you have seen that P2A2 cos theta, it is also directed in x direction but negative x direction, so it should be considered like P2 minus P2A2 cos theta. And if this is the Fx force, that is the force created by fluid on the bend, then bend will create minus Fx, already I have told you, and that is equals to rate of change of momentum in x direction, that can be written by mass per second multiplied with the change of velocity. In easy form I can write like this, that will give you the rate of change of momentum, mass per second into change of velocity, that will give you the rate of change of momentum. So left side I am not changing nothing, but I just try to form the right side equation. Right side equation, see, mass per second already I have expressed by density into discharge just before of this particular part. You can recall that thing, otherwise turn your paper, you can get this relation that mass per second can be expressed by density into discharge. Have any confusion, put the units over there. Kg per meter cube is density and discharge is volume flow rate, meter cube per second. So it will give you kg per second, that is nothing but the mass flow rate or mass per second. That is a very easy concept, put the units, it will be understood. So now change of velocity, always change will be considered by final minus initial. So final velocity, that is this part in x direction, so here should be considered that v2 cos theta, that is the in x direction. So v2 cos theta will be the direction of x of velocity component, and initial velocity in x direction, initial velocity I have mentioned is by v1, so put it v1. So final expression is look like this one, that P1A1 minus P2A2 cos theta minus Fx equals to this one. So I am trying to find out the force, that which force, what amount of force actually created by the bend on the fluid. That means suppose if I try to find out from here Fx, so Fx expression will give you, just change the sides, after changing the side it will give you rho q v1, just I am taking a minus common, so it will give you v1 minus v2 cos theta, just a simplification, nothing else, plus p1a1 minus p2a2 cos theta, just a simple common, minus common has been taken, otherwise this expression is a very simple one. Just do it with your own pen and paper, you can find this kind of expression which will give you the expression of Fx. What does this mean, Fx? Fx means the force which is felt, which is given by the fluid element on the bend, that is the direction of Fx. and that is the magnitude of Fx. This is the magnitude of Fx. Fx is the force created by the fluid on the bend. This is the force magnitude, and direction obviously this one. Similarly, I can do the same thing. I can do the same thing for y direction. If we do the same thing for y direction, I have to find out Fy, and in Fy finding, let me write the equation, otherwise it will be problem for you. So again I am doing the same thing. So net force, what are the net force acting in y direction? See, in this particular P1A1 there is no y component, so I can write 0. In section 1 part there is no component of P1A1 because it is a horizontal component, so it is not having any vertical component. So instead of P1A1 I am writing it 0 minus, now coming to P2A2. So P2A2 is having a vertical component which is acting downward, that's why I am putting minus, and P2A2 sin theta will be there vertically downward, that's why negative sign is coming. And if y, it is acting in the upward direction, but I am considering which force? The force acting on the fluid, that is obviously minus Fy. I have already expressed those things, and it is expressed by same thing, that is the rate of change in momentum, that is mass per second multiplied with change in velocity. So mass per second will be same, rho into q, because I am considering the same density, that is incompressible fluid. And change in velocity, see, v2 sin theta will be in y direction and it is upward, so positive, and obviously v1 is not having any vertical component, so it will be 0. So from there just try to write the equation in Fy. It will be like this: rho q minus v2 sin theta minus P2A2 sin theta. Just simplification, nothing else. Just take that Fy there, this side will go in the left side, a minus will be there, that's why I take this minus inside the parenthesis, nothing else. Do this simple shuffling with your own, then you can understand the thing. Then I am removing this side. After getting this Fx and Fy, what we can do? What is Fx and Fy? First let me clear once again. Fx, there is no negative sign, that means Fx means the force which is created by the fluid element on the bend, pipe bend. Similarly Fy in the direction of y. If there is any minus you are putting there, then it will be on the fluid element by the bend. Okay, now obviously if we found two forces, then always we have to find out the resultant force or net force, whatever you say. Always we express that is by Fr. So Fr can be written like this way, that root over Fx square plus Fy square. Okay, now you have to put all these expressions inside after squaring like this manner, then from there you can get the value of Fr. For the solving of the problem, I can say the values will be there, magnitudes will be available for you, so put those values over there, so you will get a magnitude from there, from both the cases. So easily you can find the resultant force. That resultant force, mind it, it will be the force which is acting on the bend, that is acting on the pipe bend by fluid element. Fluid will create this force on the pipe bend, and if anybody asks you that in which angle that resultant force will act, and if anybody asks you that at which angle the resultant force will act, so the angle of resultant force, that is Fr, with the horizontal direction I am talking about, so that should be tan theta equals to Fy by Fx. Those expressions are very simple expression, those are used in class 11-12 also. For vectors, how the resultant vector or how the direction of the vector is can be find out. Those are actually taught in class 11 and 12 in vector addition, vector multiplication, all those things, dot product, cross product, resultant vector. I think you people have gone through all these things. So that is the direction of the particular vector, which is known as resultant force, and obviously this direction should be considered with the horizontal. That's why theta is shown in horizontal direction, and the theta should be considered in anti-clockwise or counter-clockwise direction. This is the very small things, but they are very crucial. Now tell me, up to this limit, have you any problem or not? Thank you. So always try to solve one or two problems with the help of this kind of formulae whatever we have derived. You can have lots of problems in your textbook or any web version. At least 1 to 2 problems try to solve. Simple calculation will be there. Just using this concept, you have to put all those values, and the resultant force or the direction of resultant force will be asked. They are very easy problem. I am very sure that if you put a little effort onto it, you can much capable to solve them. If you are having any confusion, then always revert me back. Is it clear for momentum equation? Then we can proceed further. Thank you. Thank you. So the next part what I am targeting for today, that is energy equation, and it is very as lots of you can put over there, because that equations are very important equation from any competitive exam or any such kind of semester exams also. There, that both of them, those equation is known as, one is Euler's equation and the next one, that is Bernoulli's equation. Okay, so they are very correlated. First we are going to see Euler's equation. It is the energy equation actually. This Euler's equation of motion for ideal fluid. Ideal fluid means no viscosity. If a fluid do not possess any viscosity, then it is considered like ideal fluid. Mind it, it's a ideal one, it is not a real one, hypothetical version. In reality, there is no such kind of fluid which is having zero viscosity, not possible at all. For the simplification of derivation, we generally consider that kind of assumptions. So ideal fluid, non-uniform. Already I have told you what is non-uniform. That means velocity will not be constant with respect to time parameter. And unsteady flow. Unsteady flow means the fluid properties, it may be pressure, it may be density, they are changing, okay, with respect to time. It is very confusing for the students that which is uniform and which is steady. Steady always considered with respect to time. All the fluid properties will be constant with respect to time. So derivative will be zero. Derivative of, suppose if anybody asks you what is the differential form of steady flow, so you can write dp dt, or rather say del p del t is zero, or you can say del v del t equals to 0, or you can say del rho del t, that is 0. That is a steady flow. And if they are not equal to 0, then that is unsteady flow, nothing else. And if anybody asks you differential form of uniform flow, then velocity with respect to space, space is coordinated by, symbolized by s. So del v del s is 0, that is uniform. If it is non-uniform, then not equal to 0, nothing else. They are very easy, but not clarified or not explained easily. That is the problem. Okay. Why derivative is 0? Because we know that for constant, every constant, if we differentiate, it will be 0. That's why. Okay. And they are constant, that's why differentiation is 0, nothing else. So for these conditions, we are going to derive what is Euler's equation. Fluid is ideal, non-uniform flow is occurring, as well as unsteady flow is occurring. So first of all, I should consider a fluid element. I am taking a rectangular fluid element. A rectangular shape of, they are basically imaginary. Again saying that fluid look like rectangle, not really. In the case of continuity equation, we have considered a cubical fluid element. just for the simplification of derivation, nothing else. Okay, so inside this fluid element, the fluid is flowing like this. That is a streamline flow. The streamline flow already I have discussed. So every fluid layer, they are flowing parallelly with each other. They are not going to collide with each other. মানে ভদ্রভাবে শান্তভাবে flow হচ্ছে. Fine. So the cross sectional area I am considering dA. That fluid element cross sectional area I am considering by dA. And obviously in this direction a pressure force will be acting. I am considering the pressure force by P into dA, because the cross section area is dA. So the pressure force will be, this is the pressure force. Pressure force will be P into dA. Okay, and now another pressure force in this part will appear, that already I have discussed. And that pressure force, suppose I am considering the length of this particular fluid element by ds. ds is the length of the fluid element. So what will be the pressure force in this reverse direction of this particular discharge part? See, I can write that expression like this manner: P plus del P del S into dP. While you people see, and obviously area will be multiplied, while you people see this kind of expression, they are creating lots of confusion in your mind. I think so. Most of the students, they are getting confused. What is this? It is nothing but a simple, you can simplify the thing like using your childhood unitary method. অঙ্কতে ঐকিক নিয়ম করেছো, unitary method, same principle. See, obviously if there is a pressure which is acting here across the length of ds, some pressure is being increased over here. So here how much increment is being there, that is the part, that what is the increment actually occurred. Consider the thing like this del P del S, that is the change in pressure with respect to this length, that is a change of pressure with respect to ds length. Okay, now if it is considered for ds length, then for, oh sorry, here dp can also ds as well, sorry. So del P del S, if it is the change of pressure, it is only the change of pressure, sorry, it is change of pressure with respect to space, with respect to length, because S is standing for the distance and P is standing for the pressure. So del P del S, that means change of pressure with respect to length travel. It is so. And if we consider the element length is ds, then for the ds length it should be multiplied by ds. ছোট্টবেলাকার ইউনিটারি মেথড, যদি 1 এর জন্য এত হয় তাহলে 5 এর জন্য কত হবে, মাল্টিপ্লাইড বাই 5. সিমিলারলি del P del S, it is for unit length. Now for ds length, it should be del P by del S, change of pressure for this del S amount of length. If it is for ds length, then ds should be multiplied, nothing else. That's why P plus del P del S into ds, that is the pressure which is acting in this direction, and if you multiply it with the area, then that will be the pressure force. Otherwise this part is the pressure and area is multiplied, that is the pressure, sorry, pressure force. Is it understood or not? That's why that kind of expression actually simplified form এ ভাবলে জিনিসটা কিছু না, del P del S, it is a very small amount of change for a small amount of length. For ds length, ds will be multiplied, nothing else, and dA is coming there for the conversion into force. So that is also a pressure force. It is pressure force, it is also a pressure force, it is an inlet, it is an outlet. Okay, now I have to put a elevation of space is so inadequate. I can write this expression over here: P plus del P del S ds dA. Now here one elevation I can consider, that how much the pipe is elevated, how much inclination is there. just express that term by dz, that is the elevation from the inlet to the outlet, inclination কতটা উপরে আছে exit পার্টটা, and this pipe fluid element is actually, it is not a pipe, it is a fluid element, it is a fluid element, and we have considered that fluid element is in an inclined manner, so the weight of the fluid element always will act downwards, isn't it? Weight of the fluid element always act downwards, লম্বা করে টেনে দিলাম, this is the weight of fluid element, and always we know that weight always act vertically downward, so it is acting vertically downwards. And can you express this expression, that is a weight can we express by this expression, see, rho into dA into ds, dA into ds, what does this mean? Area into length, area into length means what? Acha, let me allow to write the expression, then I will explain it. See, density is a unit of kg per meter cube, area is a unit of meter square, distance, that is the unit of meter. So what does this gives? See, only mass will coming out, meter cube cancelled, so that is nothing but mass of the fluid element. So if this is mass, multiply g with it, so it will give you weight, check it out, meter per second square, so only left out will be kg meter per second square, and that is nothing but Newton. So that is the weight force expression. Intentionally it is written like so, rho dA ds into g, dA is the cross sectional area of the element, ds is the length of the fluid element, and g is the common gravitational acceleration. If you have any confusion, and the velocity is occurring in this direction, I am representing here, that is the velocity of fluid element with the magnitude of v, that is the fluid element velocity, fluid is moving like a streamline. কোনো confusion থাকলে বলো। Here also I can express cos theta, because I am taking this angle as theta, this angle as theta. So can I express cos theta equals to base to hypotenuse? So just consider it is a right angle like this manner, it is a right angle like this manner, so it is nothing but dz by ds, so that is the dz component, this is the right angle term, okay, and this is, just convert this form like this manner, ds, so that way cos theta is dz by ds, so this expression, yes, বাবা রাইট অ্যাঙ্গেল ট্রায়াঙ্গেলটাকে এইভাবে ধরেছি, এই যে ছবিটা এঁকেছি দেখো, sorry, this angle not theta, sorry beta, sorry, this angle should be considered theta, that means the fluid element axis, যে অ্যাঙ্গেলটা দেখিয়েছিলাম ওর সঙ্গে ফ্লুইড এলিমেন্টের কোনো রিলেশনশিপ ছিল না, that fluid element is making the angle with the vertical component, that means if I convert this figure like this, this is the ds component, okay, and this is the dz component, and that is the 90-degree angle, this is ds and that is dz, and this angle is theta. Now got it, thank you. The theta angle, theta is that is the angle which is formed between the fluid element with the vertical axis, or rather say the weight component of the fluid. Now it is clear, thank you for the correction. Then we can move up, on. What we can do, we apply again second law of Newton, F equals to Newton never will leave you okay, So F net equals to mass into acceleration. So why I am writing F net? Because it is the net force. Because one weight force is there as well as pressure force is there. So what is the net force? I am considering this direction as positive, so the reverse direction as negative. Okay. So P into dA. This is acting in positive direction. I am taking so. Now obviously this is the reverse direction, so I should consider a negative sign over there. So here will be P plus del P del S into ds multiplied with dA. Sorry, that is the two pressure forces I am considering, and the weight force also will be there. That weight force is acting vertically downwards, so a component should be considered, that is the weight force. So one component, if this angle is theta, so this is the weight force. One component will be in this direction, it will be cos theta, and one component will be in this direction, that will be sin theta. Vertical component I am not considering over there, I am considering the cos component over there. So this weight force cos component will be encountered with a negative sign because the direction in reverse direction, this direction. I am considering this direction as positive, okay, and the reverse direction as negative. Okay, so this weight force component in acting in reverse direction along this pressure force direction, so it will also come with a negative sign. So I am writing here, it will come this side, but space is not there, that's why I am writing here. So the pressure force, weight force will be rho dA ds g cos theta, rho dA ds g cos theta, that is the weight force. So that all forces considered net force, and it will be equal with mass into acceleration. So mass already I have told you, that is the expression of mass. So I will use that expression, rho dA ds, that is mass, and acceleration I am writing the acceleration in this format, dv dt. Why I am writing it in capital form, I will explain it. Okay, so name it by equation number 1. Acceleration always can be written by change in velocity with respect to time, that's why I have written dv dt. But capital D, why I am using this, I am going to clarify it. Basically it is a substantial derivative. So why this is coming, first let me clear it. See here the velocity, this velocity is a function of space and time, isn't it? Because I have told you that is a non-uniform. So non-uniform means space সাথে সাথে change করবে with respect to space, and already unsteady also. So with respect to time also it will change. That's why velocity is a function of space and time. Is it clear or not? Velocity is a function of s and t. They are very easy. অনেক বইতেই কঠিন ভাবে বলা থাকে তাই কঠিন লাগে, but they are easy. Just try to think in a simplified manner. Velocity will change with respect to space because it is a non-uniform velocity, and it will change also with respect to time. That's why it is a unsteady flow. Clear, Baba? Please. Thank you. So if I differentiate that thing, so what it will give you? dv equals to, see, is these things are clear for you or not? Del v del s with ds, and then coming with del v del t with dt. Obviously that kind of derivative can be done. I think they are actually, you have been taught these things in your pure mathematics. They should be done in that mathematics class. So both of these variables are there, that's why partial derivative term is coming there, nothing else. Okay, so dv, if I write it like this, and by force I am putting a dt common over there, then what will be the change? Del v del s, here it will be ds dt plus del v del t, isn't it? Just dt has taken a simple common, nothing else, so there is no space. अरे कहाँ लिखे, ये पार्ट मैं इरेज कर देता हूँ. हाँ, यहाँ पे जो वेट कंपोनेंट काम कर रहा था वो रो डी ए डी एस रो डी ए डी एस इंटू जी, वो यहाँ पे है. छोड़ो, तो इधर से मैं इधर आ रहा हूँ, राइट वर्ड लेफ्ट वर्ड मूव करता हूँ. तो अभी यहाँ से मैं अगर ऐसा लिखता हूँ, देखो डी वी डी टी, ये डी टी को इधर ले आया. सो हाउ द एक्सप्रेशन विल बी लुक लाइक, सी डी एस डी टी. डी एस डी टी मीन्स change in distance with respect to change in time. Distance by time, that is nothing but velocity. So I can write it by velocity v. Del v del s is there, plus del v del t. I am keeping it like this, del v del t. Okay, this dv dt, it is known as substantial derivative. Substantial derivative, and it is also can be expressed by that form, dv capital dv dt. Okay, so if this expression is such like this, then that is known as substantial derivative. It also can be expressed by capital dv dt. So this capital dv dt can be expressed by this thing. Now that is the thing what I am trying to clear over here, that because the velocity is not only a function of time, most of the time we consider that velocity is only a function of time, but it is only a case of steady flow. But if it is a uniform or ununiform or unsteady, then it will unsteady flow. While the velocity is only a function of time, then it is only a unsteady flow. But while the non-uniform part is there, then velocity is changing with two variables, space along with time. That's why I have written this dv dt part, and this capital dv dt is nothing but this v del v del s plus del v del t. If anybody asks you to derive Euler's equation, then you don't have to show this part. If you show it, then it is sone pe suhaga. But if you feel lots of difficulty to understand this particular part, then try to memorize this thing. dv dt is equals to v del v del s plus del v del t. But I don't think it is very difficult to understand if you simplify the thing in a crystal clear manner. This is that thing. Okay, so এই পার্টটুকুনি আমি রাখছি because this part will be utilized. So that is the equation number 1 where I have left it. Now from this equation number 1 you can see that some term will be cancelled. If you product this part PDA and PDA, they will be cancelled with each other. Okay, so how this equation after cancelling PDA, how it is look like, just do it with your copy and pen. Del P del S into ds into dA, this part will be there, minus rho dA ds as well as g cos theta is there, and in the right side part rho dA ds dv dt. That is the equation is look like now. Understood? Just nothing I have done special over here, just PDA will be cancelled with each other, that I have cancelled, nothing else. Okay, now see from here, if I take that you can see dA part is all there, all along all the terms, dA as well as ds is also there for all the terms. So dA ds can be cancelled, so the equation will be shortened up like this, del P del S minus rho g cos theta equals to rho dv dt. Okay, so from here if you write this equation in terms of dv dt, in terms of dv dt, if I write this equation, So what it will give you? It will give you minus 1 by rho del P del S, then rho will be cancelled for the second term, it will be given G. Now cos theta can be expressed by this expression dz ds. So cos theta I am replacing by dz ds. ठीक है, dv dt equals to this expression it is coming, and this expression is known as one dimensional 1D Euler's equation. 1D Euler's equation for unsteady non-uniform ideal fluid. Mind the conditions better. This is a one-dimensional Euler's equation for ideal fluid, non-uniform and unsteady flow. Those are the conditions, because those conditions are very important. Okay, it is 1D Euler's equation for these three conditions. If we consider that is a steady flow, I am removing this part now. If we consider now it is a steady flow, then what will happen for steady flow? Obviously this, see here, check this relationship over there, dv dt, the del v capital dv dt, it is nothing but equal to this expression. Here you can see change in velocity with respect to time. If we consider the flow is steady, then this del v del t will be 0. If this del v del t is getting 0 for steady flow, then velocity is only a function of space, isn't it? When it is a steady flow, then we consider that del v del t becoming 0. While the del v del t becoming 0, that means velocity is only a function of space, because time parameter gone. As well as we can say pressure is also a function of space. That means distance এর সাথে সাথে time, distance এর সাথে pressure and velocity both can change, because steady flow I am considering. So time parameter is vanished. টাইমের রেসপেক্টে সবাই কনস্ট্যান্ট আছে, তাহলে কার সাথে ভ্যারি করতে পারে? স্পেসের সাথে। সো নাও if we consider steady flow, then this thing will come. If this thing comes, then we consider velocity and pressure both are now function of space. A stands for space. So here check the relationship here. If both of them pressure, here pressure is there and here the velocity is there. If both of them are order function of only one variable, then this partial derivative term does not exist, because partial derivative term then exists if two variables are varies there. But here only space is there, time is vanished. So as a result of that, what we can write? We can write this partial derivative becomes total derivative now. While this thing happens, then we can say that partial derivative converts into total derivative. আর তো partial derivative করার দরকার নেই, because only one function is there. That is the condition we have to understand first, that why it is happening so. Most of the books already they written फटाक partial থেকে এটা total derivative লিখে দেবে, মানে ডেল্টাকে ডি করে দেবে. But why it is happening so? That is the reason behind it. Most of the time this creates the confusion. Why that del is coming? Why d is changing over there? Logicটা কি? Logicটা এটা. Okay. So now suppose I have to give some equation name. Okay. First I have to write this equation putting this dv dt value by this, so it will be more easy. That dv dt is replaced by this one. Okay, so how it is looking like? B del V del S plus, it is not steady flow, I am still considering, just writing the equation, del V del T equals to minus 1 by rho del P del S minus G dz ds. Just converting this equation into this form and name this equation by equation number 2. Okay, so now wiping this part, I am getting this relationship. Name this equation by 2. Now use this steady flow condition over here. By putting this steady flow condition over this equation, what will happen? This term will be nullified, 0, and this partial derivative will be converted into total derivative. So the equation will be look like V dV ds minus 1 by rho dP ds minus G dz ds. Now it look like a handsome figure, because this partial or curly d or del, whatever you say, they give some irritation for someone. That's why while they are converted into total derivative, it look like a handsome figure. Okay, and this equation is also Euler's equation 1D flow, Euler's equation for 1D flow, but for steady flow, mind it. So anybody ask you, write the equation of steady flow, Euler's equation in one dimensional form, this will be the expression. And if you write that form, then that will be unsteady, non-uniform. It is also a non-uniform, mind it. Steady flow and non-uniform, mind it. Non-uniform. Up to this limit, any problem? Again repeating, if anybody please feeling any irritation, then you are free to read. और বলছি শিওর এই পার্টটাই সবথেকে বেশি বাচ্চাদের কাছে কনফিউজিং মনে হয়, সো আই ক্যান পুট মোর এফর্ট অন টু ইট। দেখো, ফার্স্ট উই আর কনসিডারিং দ্য ফ্লো ইজ আনস্টেডি। While we are considering unsteady flow, then velocity is a function of space and time, because it is unsteady as well as non-uniform. If it is non-uniform, then function of space. If it is unsteady, then it is function of time. সেই ধরেই আমরা প্রথম থেকে করে এসেছি। ওকে, করার পরে এই রিলেশনশিপটা পেয়েছিলাম ইকুয়েশন নাম্বার 2। Then we are considering the flow is steady. While I am considering the flow is steady, then obviously del V del T will be 0, because del V del T is nothing but change in velocity with respect to time. So velocity with respect to time, তার মানে কি স্টেডি যদি হয় টাইমের রেসপেক্টে চেঞ্জ করবে না, টাইমের রেসপেক্টে তো ভেলোসিটি চেঞ্জ করবে না। ইফ দ্য ফ্লো ইজ স্টেডি, দেন অবভিয়াসলি del V del T is 0. একটু প্রথম দিকে লিখেছিলাম যে স্টেডি ফ্লো এর জন্য ডেরিভেটিভগুলো 0 হবে, আনস্টেডির জন্য নট ইকুয়াল টু 0 হবে। সো দ্যাট ডেরিভেটিভ উইল বি 0 if it is a steady flow. If this part becoming 0, then the velocity now becomes a function of space only. No time is there, because time gone. টাইমটা কনস্ট্যান্ট ধরে নিয়েছি, টাইমের রেসপেক্টে চেঞ্জ করছে না প্রপার্টি, টাইম কনস্ট্যান্ট না, সরি, টাইমের রেসপেক্টে ভেলোসিটি চেঞ্জ করছে না বা অন্য প্রপার্টিও চেঞ্জ করছে না। কারণ স্টেডি ফ্লো মানে শুধু ভেলোসিটি কনস্ট্যান্ট থাকে টাইমের রেসপেক্টে, নট রিয়েলি। স্টেডি ফ্লো মিন্স ভেলোসিটি অ্যাজ ওয়েল অ্যাজ অল ফ্লুইড প্রপার্টি, প্রেশার, ডেন্সিটি, অল আর কনস্ট্যান্ট উইথ রেসপেক্ট টু টাইম। তাহলে কার রেসপেক্টে ভ্যারি করছে, বিকজ স্টিল ইট ইজ নন ইউনিফর্ম ফ্লো, so it is also varying with respect to space. That's why I have written here velocity and pressure both are changing with space, that means both are function of space. তো এখন velocity যখন একটা ভ্যারিয়েবলের ফাংশন হয়ে গেছে, then this partial derivative do not have any meaning. Why we have done this partial derivative? Because both variables, two variables are there. If there are three variables, then তাহলে partial derivative করতে হবে। So দুটো ভ্যারিয়েবল তো নেই, একটা চলে গেছে, omitted. So now this partial derivative will be converted into total derivative, because one variable is gone. That's why this partial derivative term is converted now to total derivative. See, del V del S converted into dV ds, del P del S is converted into dP ds. Understood? Thank you. So this is the Euler's equation. If anybody asks you to derive Euler's equation, if you do this thing, it will be accepted in IIT also, because I basically follow the lecture from IIT, so they have followed this kind of clarification, and they are actually not very difficult. You have to understand the thing, you have to feel the thing. If you follow Euler's equation in a textbook like Bansal, I can take you a name particularly, R.K. Bansal. It's a very common popular book in fluid mechanics. If you see the Euler's equation there, you never can have this kind of derivation or understanding. You can check it out. Lots of students tell me that sir এরকম ভাবে না করলে কি হবে না, always হবে. You can choose any path, whatever you feel like. I feel this is the good path, then that's why I am trying to teach like this way, but I am not forcing you that you have to adopt this particular method. You can adopt any means, any method, whatever you feel like. You people are adult enough to understand the thing. কোনটা তুমি করবে, that is depends on you, but I like this way, so that's why I am deriving following this way. Most of the easy textbook will not be available this kind of derivation. Just fat assumption, bas equation derived. You can check any textbook. It will be, if it is easy for you, then copy them, no problem. I am not restricting you that you have to consider only what I have taught you, not really. Now already after getting the Euler's equation, Bernoulli's equation is a two-step only to reach there. So if anybody asks you to find or derive Bernoulli's equation, first you have to assume the Euler's equation in that last form, whatever I have written in the last equation, that is V dvds plus 1 by rho dpds equals, sorry, plus z dz ds equals to 0. এটা ধরেছিলাম একদম লাস্ট Euler's equation for steady flow of ideal fluid, এটা ধরেছিলাম তো, okay. So if anybody asks you to derive Bernoulli's equation, you should consider this equation first, that you have to write from Euler's equation. We know that for a steady ideal fluid flow, steady non-uniform ideal fluid flow, the Euler's equation look like this. আর যদি বলে from Euler's equation you have to derive, then you have to come from the beginning. Okay, so after getting this equation, Bernoulli's, what have done, do you know? Bernoulli's, he is actually very famous scientist. What he has done? He has done nothing. He has just did a integration of this whole equation, nothing else. So এই পুরো ইকুয়েশনটাকে উনি ইন্টিগ্রেশন করে দিয়েছেন with respect to ds. So integrating this means this equation, Euler's equation, with respect to ds. Okay, so how it will look like now? V dv ds into ds plus integrating 1 by rho dp ds ds plus integrating g dz ds ds equals to a constant, nothing else. So if you do the thing, then what will be coming? ds ds will be cancelled, and if you integrate v, then it will give you v square by 2. Similarly ds ds cancelled, so it will be dp by rho. Rho is not constant, so it will not come out, because we haven't considered it is a incompressible flow. If we consider, then it will go out. Then z will be there, and dz ds ds cancelled, so it will give you z. Integration of dz, it will give you z, that is nothing but a constant. Okay, so this is the energy equation. It is not a Bernoulli's equation, mind it. Energy equation along a streamline, because that flow we have considered, it is a streamline flow. It is the energy equation for a streamline flow, and the fluid is compressible one. Now if we consider some assumption here, if we consider some assumption over here, এই যে streamline flow আগে বলেছিলাম না, while the fluid particles or fluid layers, they are flowing like a parallel lines. Suppose this is a structure, if they all are hypothetical, streamline flow can be achieved. It's very difficult to achieve. Most of the times in our real life we observe turbulent flow, but if we experimentally achieve streamline flow in our fluid mechanics lab, experimental ছিল, এখন কি experimenter হবে জানি না. Streamline flow means all the layers of the fluid, they are parallel to each other. তার মানে হচ্ছে ফ্লোটা খুব ভদ্র সভ্য, they are not messing with each other, ঝগড়াঝাটি নেই. Every fluid layer, they are flowing parallel with each other. That is the flow which is known as streamline flow. We can also randomly say this is a laminar flow. Okay, so that laminar flow, is it a laminar flow or not, that can be checked by a different dimensionless number. The dimensionless number is known as Reynolds number. They will come later. Reynolds number, by that name a pen actually was there which is known as Reynolds, and a pen and naam chilo. Reynolds is a very big scientist. So that Reynolds gives us a value, a dimensionless number, by which you can find is that flow is a laminar one or a turbulent one. We are considering that flow is a streamline flow, that is a laminar flow. Understood, beta? So this equation is valid. It is a constant energy equation. It is an energy equation along a streamline. Now if we consider few more assumptions over here, I am wiping this figure now, it is not needed now. If I consider some assumption, if anybody asks you to find Bernoulli's equation, then up to this you have to come. Then you have to consider some assumption. What are the assumption taken by Bernoulli? Assumption, they very frequently come like a individual questions. They state the assumption for Bernoulli's equation. What are the assumptions? First is ideal flow. Sorry, ideal fluid. Fluid is ideal because there is no viscosity. Ideal fluid means no viscosity. Then it is a steady flow. Already we have considered steady flow. Then it is the incompressible. Incompressible we are considering. While I am considering incompressible, then this rho will come out. I will see it. Incompressible fluid. Then only gravity force is acting there. In the time of derivation of Euler's equation, only I have described there a weight force is acting there. That is the gravity force. Okay, no viscous force, no drag force is acting over there. So I am considering only gravity force is acting. Gravity force means the weight force. Only gravity force is acting there, acting as body force. Body force মানে বডির ওপরে, ফ্লুইড বডির ওপরে যে ফোর্সগুলো কাজ করছে. That way viscous force is also a body force, but here is ideal fluid, so there is no viscous force. Only gravity force acting as body force of the fluid element on fluid element. On fluid element. That is also an assumption. And flow is occurring along a streamline. এতগুলো assumption আছে এখানে. Flow is occurring along a streamline. If we consider this assumption, then this equation will be converted like, now considering incompressible flow, what does it mean? Rho constant হয়ে যাবে, density constant হয়ে যাবে. If this density is constant, then what will happen? It will be like this, v square by 2 and 1 by rho will come out. So integration of dp, it will give you only p, so I can write p by rho plus zz, and it is nothing but constant. Why it is happening so? Because it is an incompressible flow you have considered now. Rest of the assumption already we have assumed. Okay, so that is v square by 2 p by rho plus zz, that is the Bernoulli's equation. লেখার জায়গায় নেই. This is the Bernoulli's equation. NOLLI Bernoulli's equation. If anybody asks you to derive Bernoulli's equation, that is the Bernoulli's equation. Now few more things left over here. I have to know this equation. Yes বাবা রো যখন কনস্ট্যান্ট হয়ে গেছে, সো ইফ ইনসাইড দ্য ইন্টিগ্রেশন সাইন সাম কনস্ট্যান্ট ইজ বিলঙ্গিং দেয়ার, দ্যাট কনস্ট্যান্ট উইল কাম আউট না আউট অফ দ্য ইন্টিগ্রেশন সাইন. So 1 by rho will be coming out, and integration of dp that will give you p. Integration of dx কি দেয় dx, এগুলো তো ছোটবেলাকার জিনিস. Integration of dx it will give you x. Similarly integration of dp it will give you p. তাই না, বুঝতে পারোনি? Thank you. So from this equation what we can realize, that is the fill. Now we are going to discuss the fill. You have to feel the thing. Anyone can memorize a thing without understanding the thing, but you have to feel the thing. What is that? What does this mean? This means obviously it is a conservation of mechanical energy. It is the equation which is representing the conservation of mechanical energy. See, this is kinetic energy per unit mass. Kinetic energy per unit mass, because we know kinetic energy is half mv square. If you divide it by m, then it will be v square by 2, isn't it? That is written over there. That's why I have written kinetic energy per unit mass. It is p by rho. P by rho it is written by pressure energy, same, per unit mass. You may thought that how it is occurring, sir, pressure energy per unit mass, it is p by rho, how it is coming? I can explain it. See, suppose for a cross sectional area of dA, a pressure is applied over there, so markable. So pressure into area, that will give you the pressure force, and if it is displacement is occurring dx, then pressure, this is the force and this is the displacement. So force into displacement, what does this give? Energy. So I can say it is pressure energy. ছোটবেলাকার জিনিসপত্র ভুললে চলবে না. Energy means what? Energy means force into displacement. So force, if I consider it like pressure force, and if displacement is there, then that will give you the energy, isn't it? So that's why pressure into area, that will be pressure force, and multiplied with distance, that is pressure energy. Why I am saying pressure energy? Because due to the pressure force that energy is generated, that's why, nothing else. And if it is divided by mass, because I have told you pressure energy per unit mass, so unit mass I can write rho dA into dx. It is the mass, isn't it? I have already told you several times. Density is kg per meter cube, area is meter square, and distance is meter. You can see from there only kg will be coming. That means this expression will give you only mass. So that whole expression is giving you pressure energy per unit mass. Understood or not? This p dA dx by rho dA dx, this expression is giving you pressure energy per unit mass or not? So you can see from there dA dx cancel, outcome p by rho, and here p by rho is there. No book will explain how it is coming pressure energy per unit mass. You have to understand. All the books will be written, that is pressure energy per unit mass, that is kinetic energy per unit mass, that is potential energy per unit mass. These two terms is very easy to understand, because potential energy is nothing but mgz, and per unit mass divided by m, so cancelled, zz will be there, that is there. Similarly it is also there, half mv square by m, so v square by 2. But how p by rho giving you pressure energy per unit mass? That is coming like this. Understood? So now see that whole equation, the sum of three energy, they are nothing but known as mechanical energy. Mechanical energies constitute these three energies. So these three energy is constitute the total mechanical energy. Total mechanical energy is constant. That is the fill of Bernoulli's equation. That is the fill of Bernoulli's equation. That for a fluid flow, if we consider those assumptions, then total mechanical energy to different sections will be remain constant, and mechanical energy sum means this thing. Understood? Now if we consider a few modification, like if we consider it is a real fluid, obviously ideal fluid is the ideal one, it is a hypothetical one. If we consider it is a real fluid, if the fluid is real, then obviously viscosity won't be zero, isn't it? If the fluid is real, then viscosity not equal to zero. Okay, if viscosity is there, then obviously there will be some losses, because some frictional energy will be encountered, frictional energy will be developed between the fluid particles. Then obviously then this conservation of energy will not be valid, because section 1 total energy যা থাকবে section 2 তে energy একই থাকতে পারে না, because some losses will be there due to this viscosity. Then that point of time this Bernoulli's equation will not be valid, and this equation will be changed like this manner. Then this will be balanced by, suppose I am writing this pressure term at the beginning, it will be P1 by rho. I am considering section 1 and section 2, it will be easy to understand. Then V1 square by 2, then ZZ1, that is suppose for section 1. And if we write the equation for section 2, P2 by rho, then V2 square by 2, then ZZ2. If it is there, then there is no viscosity. If there is viscosity, one term will be added over there, that is written as HL, and HL is nothing but head loss due to friction. If the fluid is real, then you can consider this Bernoulli's equation in this form. One HL term will be added there. It is written as head loss or energy loss due to friction of the fluid molecules. Understood? Fine. Last thing, I can write this equation in this form also. Check this out. P1 by rho g plus V1 square by 2g, 1g is coming, nothing else, Z1 equals to P2 by rho g plus V2 square by 2g plus Z2, and HL is there, head loss is there. If I write this equation like this manner, then I have written this term, kinetic energy per unit mass, pressure energy per unit mass. Then ইউনিট মাসের জায়গায় যদি মাসের সাথে যে জি করে প্রোডাক্ট করে দিয়েছি, তার মানে দ্যাট মাস উইল বি কনভার্টেড ইট ডাউন টু ওয়েট. সো ইট উইল বি রিটেন লাইক প্রেশার এনার্জি পার ইউনিট ওয়েট, কারণ জি মাল্টিপ্লাই করেছি মাসের সাথে, তো ওয়েটই হবে না. এটা কি হবে? কাইনেটিক এনার্জি পার ইউনিট ওয়েট. কার ইউনিট ওয়েট? ফ্লুইডের. Similarly এটা হবে potential energy per unit weight of fluid. Unit weight of fluid তিনটেই কিন্তু weight of fluid বাবা, এটা weight of fluid, weight of fluid. And this pressure energy per unit weight, this term is referred as pressure head. এই টার্মটা বারবার ইউজ হবে, অনেক জায়গায় বলবে, অনেক বইতেই থাকবে প্রেসার হেড. এটাকে বলবো এখন ভেলোসিটি হেড, আর এটাকে বলবো পোটেনশিয়াল হেড. অনেকবারই অনেক জায়গায় বলবে প্রেসার হেড, ভেলোসিটি হেড, potential head. What does this mean actually? That means pressure energy per unit weight, velocity energy per unit weight, sorry, kinetic energy per unit weight, and potential energy per unit weight. That is nothing but the head. Why we are saying there head? কেন এটা মাথায় আসছে হেড? কেন এলো এটা কথাটা হেড কথাটা? Head is nothing but in terms of fluid mechanics, head is expressed like meter, মানে in term of meter unit. যেমন আমরা বলি 300 মিটার হেড অ্যাভেলেবেল, তোমার বাড়ির ওভারহেড ট্যাঙ্ক দুতলা বাড়ির ছাদে থাকলে আমরা বলি 20 ফিট হেড অ্যাভেলেবেল, তার মানে কি 20 ফিট ওপরে আছে। তো অ্যাকচুয়ালি হেড ইজ আ ইউনিট অফ মিটার, or it can be length expressed by feet also, is a unit of length. Check this thing, is it giving a meter length, মানে মিটারের ইউনিটে আসছে বা এটা মিটারের ইউনিটে আসছে না এটা মিটারের ইউনিটে আসছে, আসতেই হবে। চেক ইট আউট, if they are giving you a unit of meter then you can express it by head, if it is not coming with a unit of meter then you cannot say it head. Unit is a very crucial thing beta, unit will tell you what is that. Check the pressure P by Rho G. P is nothing but Newton per meter square, unit of P. Rho unit is kg per meter cube, and G is the unit of meter per second square. See, Newton can be expressed by kg meter per second square, or you can say this kg meter, this second square, if we bring it down like this manner, if this come like this, then kg meter per second square, it will giving you Newton. So this thing and that thing will be cancelled each other. Okay, so only meter cube by meter square. What does this give you? Meter. Always it will produce meter, always. You can check the other units also. So that is the thing why they are known as pressure head and velocity head and potential head. You can say this is datum head also. Most of the time that is known as datum head, that means the elevation difference. Understood beta? 2 ঘন্টা বলেছিলাম, 2.5 ঘন্টা হয়ে গেছে, very sorry. How much you people are talking?